Good morning. Finally ready to show the deck collection. That's tarot and oracle decks, that is. Hopefully this works okay. The mic's way over there, the camera's way over there, and the decks are way over there. But what you see is in the middle and to the left are tarot decks. Mostly taken out of the box they come in, because I'm not a fan of the box, even though they're nice and all, most of them, but they're also more about marketing and advertising. And I do keep some of them over here. You can see like 36 of them, so I'm sure that'll change over time. I do have the boxes put away inside of other boxes in another room, so they're available. They're not trashed or anything. But I found it difficult to store them and difficult to get at a particular deck with my previous setup, which was kind of ugly as well. I'm not sure this is much better looking, but at least it's easier to access the decks. And you'll see why there are numbers all over the place a little later. But first I want to do my tips or disclaimer. I guess it's more like a disclaimer, really. I'm just saying that no one needs this many decks. I'm just blessed and lucky and retired. So I can do it. But I went 62 years with just, the old 1910, 1909 Rider-Waite Smith, blurry, fuzzy, dirty, whatever you want to call it. And I was okay. And you can go your whole life without a tarot oracle deck, actually. Probably be better off with just a friend. But anyway, so this is not me showing off, nor is it a recommended behavior for anyone else. Rather, I'm just sharing. Okay, with that out of the way, let's get back to the goodness. I did make some notes the other day in the journal here, but not really enough to follow exactly. I'm not sure what that person's doing in the rain with a fish and two birds, but hey. And that's me trying to do a camera. But anyway, so I guess I mentioned the two shelves. The shelf on the far right is just oracle decks. Everything else is tarot decks. And you can kind of see on the floor, but I'll pick you up in a second, an opened box. You can see how they're marked and tagged. And each deck is separated from the next deck by some cards that I bought from Amazon, which are kind of blank and matte finish. So they're not sticky at all, and they're not just plain cardboard either, like an index card. They are a card. If I can find one here. Well, I'll show you one when we go over there. But you can see underneath the candle there are 3 journals. That's where I started numbering them, just taking them off that big ugly metal stand that was over there. Took them out of the box, put the boxes in other boxes and stored them away, because I kind of just had trouble accessing, getting at something in particular. It popped into my head. I mean, what good is it to have all these if I can't get at it, look at them, see them, maybe re-video them or whatever? So this is what I came up with, and there's still some to be shown as I'll kind of pan, hopefully slowly enough, over to the wall with the purple. I think I'm shooting for like a Roman kind of color. I'm not sure why, with a flat black gesso thing that I made up. But those decks in that, what used to be my favorite place to put them, but now it's where I'm putting the ones that I need to show. I haven't shown them. I've looked at them, but I haven't done a video, put it that way. And I've really kind of cut back on doing videos. I've cut back a lot on buying, because I think I just don't see anything that really moves me. I guess that little spurt of going so many years with just the one, and then seeing all these, and then acquiring them, which was kind of annoying at times, but also a blessing. It's nice to have. If one can have, one does not need it. I already said that. But I'll pick you up and then show you that those turn. You'll probably lose audio a little bit or a lot. So let's do that. Should we have some more lights? Let's add some light. So maybe they show up a little bit better. Move the microphone with me. Try to stay out of the picture. So this first stand, if that's showing up, there, kinda, whoops, didn't mean to take a picture. They rotate. So I'm thinking on this, since it's Terra, that, you know, that'd be like, what, fire? And then we go around, probably go this way. Then maybe paint or draw or put something on here to indicate water. And then air, swords, you know. And then earth, coin. The only drawback to these is this little part here is about, I don't know, half an inch maybe. So deck kind of gets back in there. It can get a little bit hard to get out, but that's okay. You just move them around. They're pretty easy to move, especially when they're in the boxes still. It gets a little harder over here on the Oracle decks. And that's my first attempt at decoration, because I see cards as people. So this is some antique-y looking. They're just glued on there, or what do you call it, Mod Podged on there. But you can see if we just take one out, which isn't so hard to do, except I would have picked one of the worst ones. And this is number 9 in the Oracle decks, and that's the kind of card that's in between them all. And I don't know what deck that is. Medicine cards. I'm not a fan of that one. And I'll leave that on the floor for now. No, I won't. Sorry. That's his head. So let's spin this around. I haven't decorated it either. And you can see the tea leaf, which is, you know, like 100 cards or something like that. Maybe more. That's a complicated thing to put on a shelf. Although I do have a box I'll show here in a second for specific, for odd decks like that, just not for that one. So I do have a box I'm calling Odds, which, as you can see in there, is the Gorgons and other round decks, Mother Peace, and I forget. And then there's some decks that are just huge. It's like, why are they so big? But they are, so they're in there. I think Shakespeare is one of them that's just too dang big. So that's the Odds box. Thankfully there weren't that many. And down here on the floor, you can see how they're stored. Now these boxes, they're about $2 a piece from I forget where. Just don't get them through Amazon, because they like, the price is like 3 times worse. If you went straight to the company, it's like $2 and something a box. And it's meant to have 4 rows of poker cards, but I just put the one divider down the middle. I mean 3 dividers, 4 rows of poker cards. I just put the one divider so I can get 2 cards, which seems to work perfect. So, okay, there's that. Let's back away. And that cart in the middle is also on wheels. If I'm not bumping you around too much. You can see I've decorated, whoa, I've decorated the side of it with a painting. That's Pythia on there. I didn't paint it. It's just painting on canvas that I have and stuck on there. So that cart moves. It's on wheels, and most likely I won't keep it that way, because you can pull a box out from either side if that shows up. There's no back on it. Both sides look the same. Okay, so I think we're back over here where I can show you some other stuff. Okay, let's turn you down. There. And moving around seemed to improve the picture. Maybe it's just the lighting. But anyway, back that way. I'll wheel you around one more time. Back that way is one, some junk, and two, that's my where I keep books. There's about 30 that aren't in there because they're in the kitchen, because those are ones I read and reread or just look through or whatever. They're more popular than those, put it that way. So I'm going to try switching windows here and play a little video where I go through the, which one is it? I think it's this one. There. So I'll switch over to that and start it playing. Then I'll switch back. It may not work so well. But that's me. Oh, sorry about that with the audio. That's me in the closet earlier with a lantern trying to capture the books. You'll notice little tags on some of them here in a second. See the tags, yellow, purple, 38. Those are the books that match the decks. So the number is, for me, it's not really important, but for me it's important to be able to get at the book if I want to, not usually, but if I want to get at the book based on the cards that I'm looking at. So we'll let this go until it finishes soon, hopefully. But you can see the books. Some books don't match with decks. They're just tarot books or whatever books. I don't know what those were. Then you'll see some art books. And whatever those are. James Joyce. Good luck reading that. And then we come down to definitely art books. I like those Taschen books. Like the first ones on the right there. They're cheap, but they got really nice artwork in them. If you like old artwork. Not sure what those books were. I saw some tarot books in there. So I think that's about the end. It's really getting the computer upset. And I painted that on the wall in the closet. Kind of like a galaxy Bob Ross Forest Twilight gesso thing. So let's turn that one off. Now we're back looking at the deck. We don't want to do that. Let's look at the photos that I made. The camera has this odd feature that it can do black and white, which I didn't know about, but it can do black and white and then it like locks onto a color. In this case, it's locked on to, it looks like, is that it? I didn't stretch it out. Sorry. I guess it doesn't want to stretch out. Wow, this thing's a little hard to work. But anyway, there's some pictures. I'll quickly go over here and go through them. I think that's going to be the thumbnail right there for the YouTube video. There's another one, and another one, and the closet, and that's it. I kind of like the black and white one though. It's like it locked onto red and it's popping it out of what's up on the wall. It's kind of interesting looking. So let's keep going here. Let's turn off the previews, and now we're back to the wall. I just don't get that little red line thing. I just don't get it. I'm going to go with that and see what shows up on the video. Apologies ahead of time if it looks like a mess, which it might. So now the other thing I did, other than those journals, which is helpful and it's nice because I can doodle and look at deck, write down thoughts, all that kind of thing. But I also wanted to be able to find something quickly. So I put this on my website. There's this, I think we're looking at it. Nope, we're not looking at it yet. Sorry. Let's turn that on. There we go. Now we're looking at it. And I will go back to it and then show you what it's all about. Basically, it's the third tab on my website, which isn't much of a website. It just has, Pixie's Tarot, so you can go play with cards. If you don't have a deck, here's a free one. Not so great, doesn't help you. It's just you and the cards. Then I did a kind of a reproduced what I call Granny's Tarot, which is the first tarot deck I got from my grandmother with no words, no numbers, none of that nonsense, she would say. And there's a little frog with the bug. And then the third tab, well, there's a fourth tab, which takes you to my YouTube channel, but we won't do that. Well, we will, but only through this. And then the third tab is what I call Deck Collection as of March 2019. And along the top here, I'm not sure anybody else but me would ever use this, but you can, and you can search. So if I click on Oracle decks, it's going to only show me all the Oracle decks I have, and I kind of number them. So I got 129 of those. Let's look at tarot decks as if numbers matter. I got 301 tarot decks. Then I can click all decks and it goes back to where it started, but it doesn't matter what you click on when you do a search. So let's look for MPC, which is make playing cards. And I think I typed grandmother somewhere. So what comes up? Well, we get Tarot Grand Lux, and for some reason we get the Delphi Oracle. Oh, because it has MPC. So if you really wanted that to be, I want it to be MPC and I want it to be my grandmother. Wait, nothing came up, so I put an asterisk there, and there it is, because there's the word grandmother. Somewhere in there is an MPC. And even though I don't have it right now, eventually I will have more text with each one, maybe a doodle or something. I don't know. I found this little card which looks like a joker. But, once whatever you want comes up, if you run the cursor over it, you can see it highlights it. If I click on it, it's going to go to my video on YouTube about that particular deck. There I am doing a video on YouTube. Just like this video. So let's stop that and kill that and go back to all decks. And if I scroll down through here, I guess I can just look for the word video. No video. These are decks that it should be the ones that I haven't done a video for. That's interesting. Oh, I see. I have video in the title of some. See, no video. So like on Mage the Awakening Tarot, I think that's a game. It says no video, Game Crafters. So I can't click on it because I haven't made a video yet. So take that away. So that's there. If anybody wanted to use it, why you'd want to be searching through my decks, I don't know. But hey, it's an easy way to get to a video. Because I find sometimes YouTube search is a bit too much about recommending virtual reality channels to me instead of what I was actually looking for. So let's go back and see how long this is and then get rid of that. And that's not too long, less than 20 minutes. So that's my deck collection. I'd be interested in hearing your thoughts, but I just mainly wanted to share. So let's kind of zoom in on the frog. He hasn't got enough time, he says. There he is. Let's get a little bit of tree to go with him. Yeah. There we go. That's not a bad way to end. Oh, maybe without the odds. Okay. So with that, I will say, if I can, I will say peace.